students, welcome to GK Trick India. I am Samjukta and today we are going to learn about ratio and proportion. So let us start guys. Okay, to learn about ratio and proportion, the first thing we have to know is the meaning of the word ratio and proportion. Ratio is nothing but another form of fraction having same units. What that means? That means if we take any two number in fraction, they can easily be written in the ratio form. Okay? But if we take the fraction of two physical quantities having units like of mass 20 kg by 30 kg, this can also be written as ratio in the form 20:30 because look, both the quantities have the same unit. Yeah, but if it there is something like 10 kg by 25 gram, this is not equal to 10:25. And why this is so? Because the units are different. Okay, so this is the basic concept about ratio. And what is proportion? Proportion is nothing but the equality of two ratios. That means if A is to B equals to C is to D, then it can be written as proportion form like A is to B as C is to D. Okay, this is the proportional form. Now we have to know a main rule of proportion, and that is, okay, firstly we have to know about the terms of ratio and proportion. So let us start with the terms of proportion. Okay, in proportion, the last two terms at the two ends are called extremes. Okay, and the middle two terms are called means. It is very easy to remember this because extreme means we know far away, and look, in this proportion these last two terms are far away from each other, so they are extremes, and the middle two terms are means. Okay, the main rule to for terms to be in proportion is the product of the extremes must be equal to the product of the means. Okay, let me write it so that you can remember. The main rule of proportion, note it down guys, it is product of extremes equal to product of means. That means in the proportion A is to B as C is to D, these four terms can be in proportion only if A into D must be equal to C into B. This is the most important criteria for four terms to be in proportion. Okay, and let us know about the terms of ratio. Like in a ratio A is to B, the first term is called antecedent. What? Antecedent. And the second term of the ratio, it is called consequent. Okay, there is a short trick to remember them because sometimes it happens that when we are going to give the exam in the examination hall, there is a panic, there is nervousness in our brain, in our hearts, and that nervousness actually caused what? When we got the question paper and there is a question that find out the product of the antecedent in the two ratios. Then we have to remember which one is antecedent, which one is antecedent. Just a short trick to remember which one is antecedent and which one is consequent is, we know in our English alphabet, the alphabet series starts with A. Yes, So just remember one thing guys, that our English alphabet series starts with A and the antecedent word starts with A. So antecedent always denotes the first term of the ratio and consequent is the other. It's very simple now. Yeah, it is. So it's a short trick to remember which one is antecedent and which one is consequent. Okay. Now another thing of ratio, that is comparison of ratio, which we must have to remember is a ratio A is to B. It can be equivalent to all the ratios which are in the form MA is to MB, where AM not equal to 0. What that means? That means A is to B is equivalent to all the ratios when those ratios are obtained by multiplying a non-zero number to both the antecedent and consequent. That means with I am giving example to clarify it. Look, we have 2 is to 4. It's always equal to 4 is to 8, like 2 into 2, 4 into 2. Equal to 6 is to 12 or 2 into 3, 4 into 3. And dot 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 dot. Okay? So guys, I think you have understood the meaning of comparison of ratios. And another thing we have to know before going to the problems are, there are two main things like third proportion and fourth proportion. Okay? What is third proportion? What is fourth proportion? Look, there is also a small trick to remember them. Okay, let's start with fourth proportion first. We know in the term fourth, there comes 4. So we have to remind fourth means there are 4 terms. A is to B, as C is to D, and the fourth means the last term is called the fourth proportion of the total. Okay? And you guys are thinking that why is this important? I can remember it, but there the trick is there in case of the third proportion to remember third and fourth both equally. Look, in the third proportion, we know third comes from the word 3. So when it comes about third proportion, we have to remember that third means there are 3 terms A, B and C written in the proportional way, like A is to B as B is to C, and the third proportion is which one? That third term, that is C. Okay, I think you guys understood it, but still I am giving you a small example to explain it. Like in the ratio 1 is to 2, for 2 is to 4. In this ratio, look, I am proving everything I have told, like product of the extreme means equal to 2 into 2 equals to 4. Product of the extremes 1 into 4 equals to 4. So this is a proportion. In this proportion, tell me, is it the third proportion or fourth proportion? Look guys, it is a third proportion because here is also 2 and here is also 2. So it is which one is the third proportion? Here 4 is the third proportion. Got it? Yes. And let's take an example for fourth proportion, like 2 is to we can take 6. Okay, 2 is to 6 as 6. No, let us take not 6. It may be simplified. 2 is to 6. Yeah. So let us take 2 prime numbers, like 3 is to 7 has what can we take, like 6 is to 14. Okay. So look here, 7 into 6 equal to 42 and 3 into 14 equal to also 42. Okay, so this is these four are in proportion, and here look, this is the fourth proportion. Okay guys, so I think all of you have understood what is the third proportion and fourth proportion. So now we are moving forward towards our numerical problems. And if you guys are loving the video, then please like, share and subscribe to get more videos like that. I think it will be much helpful for you all in your preparation as well as in your exam hall. Okay, so let us move forward with the problems like if 10% of x equals to 20% of y, find x is to y. How can we solve this problem? Yeah, it comes in mind. Okay, look, I am helping you to solve it. There is nothing to worry, just move on step by step. Like we know, we have to firstly form the equation. Okay, 10% of x equal to 20% of y. This is given. Okay, in my percentage video I explained how to remove percentage. So I am again telling you that to remove percentage we have to divide the percentage number by 100. Okay, so just divide 10 by 100 of means into x equal to 20 by 100 into y. That means x by 10 equal to y by 5 by cancellation. Okay, and now look here, what we have to find out is x is to y, that means x by y. So it's very easy. I think all of you guys understood it. We have to just replace these two, interchange these two. X by y equal to 10 by 5, that is 2 by 1. Therefore, x is to y equal to 2 is to 1. Okay, it's very simple. Yeah, it is. Okay, let me give you a more example of this type of maths, but a bit harder. Like, let us check something different. Like, okay. Let us check this problem. If 2x plus 3y is to 3x plus 5y equals to 18 is to 29, find x is to y. Okay guys, I think all of you are thinking that the previous one is easy, but how to find this where x and y are together in the added form? Okay, look, I am helping you. Nothing to worry, just work it step by step. Like 2x plus 3y by 3x plus 5y equal to 18 by 29. The first step to do is just cross multiply. Okay, by cross multiplying, what we get? 9 to 18, 2 to the 4, 58x plus 9 3s are 27, 3 to the 6, 787y equal to 18 into 3, 8 3s are 24, 4 3 are 54x plus 18 5s are 90. Done? Okay, so just 90y. Yeah, so just take the x to one side. 58x minus 54x equal to here 90y minus 87y. Okay guys, are you understanding? I think you are. I am just rubbing the upper part. Okay, note down all this so that you can remember the techniques when you are doing more and more examples. Okay, look, 58x minus 54x means 4x equals to 9y minus 87y, 3y. So just we have to find out x is to y, that is x by y. So x by y equal to 3 by 4. Isn't it very easy? Yeah. So we have find out x is to y equal to 3 is to 4. Yes, we have done it. I know all of you can do it. It's very easy. Okay. So now let us take some examples from proportion. Okay, like some examples from proportion. Okay, here is a example like find the fourth proportion to 4, 9 and 12. So what this question actually means? Look, here the question actually means that we have 3 terms given and we have to find out the 4th term. Okay? So just let us think, let the 4th term be x. So how is the proportion form? 4 is to 9 hence 12 is to x. Now we know the rule of proportion, that is product of the extremes is equal to product of the means. That means 4 into x equals to 9 into 12. This must be to hold the proportion, yeah. So then it's very easy. X equals to 12 into 9 by 4. 4 3 is 12 and it becomes 27. Okay, so we find out the 4th proportion. Okay, now let us take one numerical how to find out the 3rd proportion. Look guys, it is the chapter is very easy and it's not at all time consuming. Yeah, it's really easy to find out the answers. Okay, 3rd proportion. Okay, look, find the 3rd proportion to let me take 2 and 5. So similarly, let the 3rd proportion be x. We know according to the 3rd proportion rule, the 3 terms are in the form 2 is to 5 as 5 is to x. Yes. So here 2 into x equal to 5 into 5. X equal to 25 by 2, that is 12.5. Okay, we got it so easily. Yes, that's the technique. Okay, now let us take some different things like, okay, here we have 2 rules of variation, like if we have to remember this guys, if x is directly proportional to y, then we can write it as x equal to ky. Okay, for some constant, for some k belongs to constant, that is k is constant. X and y are variables but k is constant. It's a rule which we have to remember. Okay, and it is also written as x directly proportional to y. And guys, if x is inversely proportional to y, then what can we write? Then we can write if x is inversely proportional to y, then we can write what? xy equal to k, again for k constant. Okay, for k become a constant, and it can be written in the form x inversely proportional to y means x proportional to 1 by y. Okay guys, so we have to remember these two. Please note it down. Okay, I think you have noted down. So just I am erasing this. Okay, so now we have to know about some more things like if A by B equals to C by D, that is A is to B equal to C is to D, then we can apply here componendo dividendo and we can write it as A plus B by A minus B equal to C plus D by C minus D. Okay, we can apply this componendo dividendo in ratio also, and it may be helpful for us in solving some of our numericals. Okay, so this is also a thing to be remembered, so note it down also guys. Okay, and there are three more important things which you have to remember is duplicate or double. Actually not double, it's termed as duplicate. Duplicate ratio, what is this? Duplicate ratio of A is to B is A square is to B square. Why we have to remember this? Because it may occur in the exam hall that the question is given as the duplicate ratio of what is 9:16. Then we just take 1 second to think that, oh, duplicate ratio, that means A is to B is duplicate ratio is A square is to B square. So the 9:16 is a duplicate ratio of 3:4. Yeah. So we have to remember these things, duplicate ratio, and we have sub-duplicate ratio. Just note it down. Sub-duplicate ratio. And what is sub-duplicate ratio? It is the sub-duplicate ratio of A is to B is root A is to root B. That means duplicate ratio is the square of both the terms and sub-duplicate ratio is the square root of both the terms. That is the sub-duplicate ratio of 9:16 is 3:4. Okay, just nothing else. It's very simple to remember. I know duplicate means double. Like how to remember? We have to how to remember duplicate D, double D. So duplicate means A square B square. Sub-duplicate is square root S. So sub-duplicate means square root of A, square root of B. Is not it tricky? Yeah, it is. So we have to remember this, that duplicate means, oh, D, that means double, A square, B square. And when we get sub-duplicate, oh, sub-duplicate means S, square root. So root A, root B. Okay? These are tricks. And one more thing here. And that is sub-triplicate. And you guys may think here is also S, but look guys, here it's triplicate. So we can easily think that it's 3. Okay. First we have to find out triplicate. Okay, sorry. First triplicate. Look, if duplicate is A, duplicate of A is to B is A square is to B square, then what is the triplicate? I know you guys are answering that it's A cube is to B cube, is not? Yeah, it is. And similarly sub-triplicate, I know you are again answering guys. It is cube root of A is to cube root of B, that is A to the power 1 by 3 is to B to the power 1 by 3. I know it is already set in your mind. Yeah, these are the tricks. Okay, so you don't have to remember it again and again. Whenever you see the terms duplicate, subduplicate, triplicate, subduplicate, you can remember my words. I'm sure of that. Okay. So these are the important terms. Now